Hey, welcome to you. All right, so I'm getting a prompt from Spirit to do an open-ended reading today. So I want to give them a bit of a blank canvas so that way I can channel the message that needs to come through today, but it feels like it's important. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. I have a bunch of tarot cards just spread out on my tarot table here. We're going to grab one to, or at least one, I'm hearing, to set the theme for this reading and to kind of build out what it is that Spirit wants to talk about today. So let's go ahead and get started. This card? Okay. Is that it? Okay, so here's the card we have. I'm struck by the fact that I just happen to be wearing green. And this card is also green. I just felt like I had to put on this shirt today. So yeah, okay, so it says prosperity, luck, and love. I'm hearing this is about love. This could be love of any type. It doesn't have to be romantic love, is definitely part of it. Is this upright? Yeah, okay, so it's definitely about love today. What else, Spirit? Okay, so I feel like that's kind of the theme. This card. And this one. Okay. All right, so we got two other cards for you here. We're just going to build out this theme here, but we have this one. It says summer. It says expansion. It says growth. Yeah, that's a really great card. Is this upright? Yes. Okay. And we have also the walking staff. Okay, and it says support and encouragement. I'm hearing this is upright in reverse. Okay, so I'm feeling like yeah, there's definitely some sort of, it feels like almost like a little bit of good luck, but it's kind of like there is an expansion energy here that feels really strong. I almost like feel like there's this sort of like, feels really light and airy, which is wonderful, but it's a little bit expansive. And yes, I do feel like love is definitely part of the theme of this, but I feel like it's wanting to expand, but something feels a little like contracted with this walking staff in reverse. It's almost like, I'm wondering if you don't feel like you have the correct like support or container or guidance to actually allow yourself to expand in the ways that you want to. And I feel like this expansion you're trying to go through is some sort of act of self-love. That feels really clear here. Is this about romantic? Yeah, I do feel like for someone here, it does feel like there are maybe some growing feelings in something. Maybe with a connection of a romantic type. It doesn't have to be. This could be actually a connection of any type, but I am sensing there's an example here that wants to come through specifically with romantic love. So it does feel like there's this sort of like wanting to grow and expand. I'm seeing the basil like growing as Spirit is showing it to me, but it just feels like I'm not sure you feel as like held as you would need to allow this to kind of flourish or grow or yeah, just grow in the ways that you'd like to. Now, it's interesting because I'm sensing an energy here of almost like, it almost feels like you're containing yourself somehow. That's actually what this is. It's almost like how this cup is containing this basil. That's kind of what it feels like. Now, normally the cup would be good because I feel like there is a sense of almost like you wanting the support and encouragement and that sort of like, I don't know if it's, I'm hearing emotional holding, but I feel like it's even more than that. The kind of like whatever support, this could be structural or by structural, I mean things like maybe you have like regular connects with others, like other chats, meetings, FaceTimes. I just feel like for someone, this could be around like the therapy that you would need to be able to do this right, is what I'm hearing. But I just don't feel like it's there. well, at least not in the ways you want. And for whatever reason, this cup is coming through as both like the container you need in some way that you've been wanting. It's also coming through as in another lens or kind of dimension of how this reading is coming through. It's almost like you're kind of like limiting yourself as well from expanding more, because I don't, like I said, I just don't feel like you have the container that I feel like you would need to be able to grow the ways you'd want to, just like the basil does. Okay, so that feels really strong here. Spirit, is there more to see here? Okay, they're saying yes. Hold on. There's more to see. Yeah, I just feel, I'm getting a sense there's a particular path you want to walk or a direction you want to take that's related to this expansion, or almost, again, allowing your kind of, it's like it's a little bit of a metaphor. It's sort of literal for some of you, but it's like this love to expand in the ways that you want. And like I said, this could be self-love, this could be romantic love, it could be about a connection, but ultimately I feel like this is around self-love. If we get to the kind of the core of everything here, in order for you to like expand in that way, which I do feel like would bring you into a kind of a summer energy, a happiness, a contentment, a fulfillment, it feels like for whatever reason, there's a bit of restriction here. And I feel like there's a path you want to walk and you see it. I just don't feel like you have, I don't know if it's seen the signs or have, yeah, maybe the level of grounding that you'd like to have in order to kind of move in that direction. Okay, so that makes sense to me. Is there more to see? Okay, so let's keep going. I want to go a little bit deeper. So, Spirit, what is going well for the collective then? What is going well related to this energy? Yeah, I saw this. I thought this card. Okay, yeah, it's the Five of Pentacles in reverse. I really like that. Again, this feels like almost like you're trying to almost reach out. You see these hands reaching? It's like you're almost trying to kind of like, I don't know if it's, I'm hearing give more of yourself in some way, okay? In whatever dimension or domain this speaks of, especially in relation to love, okay? Self-love or love and or love of others, okay? Which, you know, we want both to come in connected, okay? But I feel like, the want is there, but it just feels like, I still feel like you're in this kind of Five of Pentacles energy a bit of like, oh, well, it's not fully there. Everything I need, the pentacles I would need, which is kind of that like structure, foundation, the support, the holding, whatever it is, it just doesn't feel like it's fully there yet. And it's almost like you think you need more in order to do this. So again, Spirit has a message about this. You want this card? Yeah, okay, the Chariot. Upright. Yeah, this is coming out upright in reverse again. It's definitely the energy of like Spirit saying like, go for it. Because the Chariot moves forward. It's like one of the fastest moving cards in tarot. And I'm really struck by the fact that this card is connected with Cancer, and Cancer can speak to and speaks a lot to like love. Cancer is definitely one of the archetypes that can speak to this, and it speaks to belonging, and it speaks to the the feeling of being home. It speaks to that there's like an expansion to Cancer that happens. And I'm struck by Spirit is telling me there's something around like Jupiter entering Cancer here within the next couple of months is going to be important. It's almost like how Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. There's an expansion to this feeling of like love, of home, of everybody belongs, everything belongs, and also of like, Cancer is a very like generous archetype, okay? So it gives, right? Just like you see these hands out. So I just feel like, the wind patterns are right for this. I just want to get into why we feel stuck here. There's something that feels stuck. So let's get into what's on top, Spirit. Why is this stuck? Do you have more to say? Whoever's watching this. Okay. Oh, this card. Oh. The World. Upright. Yes, and reverse. All right, I'm gonna get another card. Yeah, let's get another card. This card. Strength. Wow, there's a lot of major arcana here. let's get one more. Hold on. Let me get one more here. It feels like there's some sort of fear here. You want this card? Page of Wands, yeah. I mean, there's a real, like, especially with the Chariot and the Page of Wands, there's a real energy of like pushing forward, moving forward, going forward, expanding outwards. I'm seeing the Chariot kind of run into, I don't know if this is a desert scape they're showing me, but that's kind of what it looks like. It's almost like going to the limits of where you've been before and then going beyond it. Yeah, that's definitely part of it. That feels really strong here. It's like, I feel like there's a sense of fear here, and Spirit's bringing the Strength card to say, like, you can absolutely do this. Okay, but I feel like there's a level here of just, this feels like someplace you haven't been before, if I'm honest. That's actually what it feels like. And maybe the situation you're in, maybe whatever energy you're in right now, or the event that you're going through, or again, the scenario you're going through right now in your life, maybe it's putting you into sort of this like realization that this would be taking you farther than you've been before. Yeah, that feels spot on. Okay. And I don't know, it's like, it's almost like discovering a whole new side of yourself or a whole new world. Again, this world energy is coming through as like uncharted territory that you're kind of moving and navigating towards. I'm seeing the Chariot kind of, again, these are both major arcana, so it's almost like I'm seeing this in like a spiritual sense, like the Chariot's moving through the world and around the world, and I'm kind of seeing that image right now from Spirit. So I just feel like there's, again, the expansion is so, that energy is so present, but I do feel like this means something's gonna change, and I think you know that, which is why there's a hesitation here. Again, the world speaks to endings. It's almost like it's coming through a bit like, and it doesn't feel as harsh as this sounds, but like almost like the world as you know it will change. Yeah, that's right. Again, anytime we do acts of self-love, truly, it's usually going to be something pretty unfamiliar. And mostly because as we're kind of navigating our ways out of, especially if it's things like the systems of oppression, or if it's ways that we have, you know, been in love before, and especially if those relationships were leaving you in this Five of Pentacles energy, which is wanting more, then yeah, it's going to be a bit scary. It's going to be a bit unfamiliar, but there's this energy with this Page of Wands. It's definitely coming in with an Aries vibe in a way of wanting you to like try something new. Again, take a path. You see, oh, look, here's the like desert kind of dunes that I'm seeing. I'm seeing the Chariot actually running through this landscape. That's actually exactly what I'm seeing. Yeah. Okay, so that feels very strong. That feels right on where you are. Okay. So I feel like Spirit has some recommendations and advice here. I'm hearing yes. But do we want to talk about what this fear is, Spirit? All right, what's first? Okay, they want to go into the fear first. Hold on. So let's go a little deeper into this fear, because I am sensing that. It's almost like you know this path, which is the path I'm seeing on this walking staff card here. I think you know it's going to take you to some peaks unknown, or some places unknown, or some places you haven't been before. Yeah, and again, that actually feels like a really good thing here. But let's see what Spirit has to say. So what's this fear about? Do you want this? This one? Okay, we got the Queen of Pentacles, upright, reverse. All right, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, that card is strong. This card. And this one. Okay. That's it. Yeah. Look, we have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Lovers. Yeah. We have the Lovers. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. The Lovers. And we have the King of Pentacles. Is this upright? No, this is reverse as well. Yeah, there's a lot of fear here. There's a lot of fear here. So this Lover's card is definitely confirming the theme that's coming through this reading. So that's definitely part of it. So that's confirming it. This is also confirming, again, this is elements of self-love as well, specifically. But again, I do feel like potentially for a few of you, this may be related to a connection outside of yourself that's kind of pushing you into deeper levels of knowing yourself in some way. For whatever reason, the Queen and King of Pentacles are coming in with an energy of like going deeper within yourself on every level. It's coming through with, like I keep saying, like uncharted territory. It's like the land you haven't explored yet. And again, both of these are coming out in reverse, okay? But that's actually what this is feeling like. It's like, again, you're just going to have to kind of travel through the unknown and kind of figure it out as you go. But there's this energy here of like not having the correct like support. Both of these pentacles in reverse, which I just feel like Spirit is trying to say something here, trying to like point out that I do feel like you're ready for this. I do feel like you're ready for this, but I can sense how strong that is. Yeah, and I feel like this is bringing up the fears are coming up as almost like these are also coming through as like insecurities. That feels really strong. Like it's bringing up some insecurities for you within yourself, the Queen of Pentacles, which speaks to the internal landscape. And it is definitely coming through as like, there's like with the Pentacles in reverse, it's coming through as like an instability felt within yourself. Again, coming through as an insecurity, okay? Which I do feel like is maybe part of what's manifesting outside of you as well, or how you're kind of presenting yourself in the world. And I don't think you realize maybe you're doing it. I don't know if you're like, you know, kind of declining some opportunities here, or just, again, there's a lot of hesitation in this energy. There's almost like wanting a full stop with this Pentacles. I'm seeing almost like a brick wall right now as Spirit is showing it to me, and just saying that, no, I don't know if I can go that direction. But the Spirit keeps pulling up this Chariot card, wanting you to kind of push through, kind of heal through, work through the insecurities that are coming up right now, because I just feel like this is an opportunity for you to get to know yourself on a deeper level. Okay, no matter, you know, what's happening outside of you, this is an opportunity for you to know yourself on a deeper level, whether that's to even just like observe and be aware of kind of what's coming up right now as you find yourself on it feels like you're on the edge of like trying to constrict yourself while also simultaneously wanting to expand. That's what it feels like. And so I feel like Spirit is really trying to like come through with this Pentacles energy to say, like, just be aware of the ways that you're feeling kind of off balance, okay? And maybe how that's also kind of playing out within the scenario or situation. Okay, give me 1 second here. I feel like there's more here. These two Pentacles in reverse, and they're showing me the Five of Pentacles as well, again. Yeah, this is so interesting. I feel like there's a real reminder here from Spirit that ultimately only you can give yourself what you need. And no matter how far out I'm hearing of your depth that you go within this connection, like understanding that you can always like anchor back within yourself. Like you are actually the container you need. Okay, now that's not to say, you know, getting additional support wouldn't be helpful. For instance, if that means working with a somatic therapist or a community group or any sort of other sort of therapeutic group for yourself, or whatever other resourcing you need to kind of move through this next kind of part of your experience, okay? But it does feel like, I feel like Spirit is trying to show you sort of like this is, again, ultimately around you and taking you into a deeper level of self, and understanding that the only person who can make you feel like this is going to be okay and it's going to work out okay is you. Okay, but you have to be dedicated and willing to give yourself the resourcing you need, if that's part of what you need to feel that stability and security. Okay, so that's definitely coming through strongly from Spirit. okay? Because we always have, we are so responsible. We are responsible for ourselves and for all of those insecurities that come up. Like, that's ultimately on us. That's never on anyone else outside of us to solve, to fix, to heal, to provide for, to give us. They can never do that. That's not up to them, okay? That's up to you to give to yourself. And ultimately, if you have a set of, like, you know, reasonable adult needs within connections, then obviously state those, set boundaries as you need, okay? But I feel like this is trying to, like, remind you to anchor into a deeper part of yourself, okay? And that no relationship, no connection should ever take you off course from that. No relationship should ever take that, I'm hearing, the ground from underneath your feet, because the ground should be the self-love that you give to yourself and the self-love that is needed. Yep, that's it right there. Okay, that's the ground you should be walking on. Okay, and that brings those both into the upright. So let's keep going. This deck. All right, let's go deeper, Spirit. What else do you have to say about this? Card, this card, one more. Okay, so they gave us, let's see, here's what we have. We have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, that's upright. A little bit in reverse, but that's upright. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles. And we have the Empress. Okay, they also showed us briefly the Emperor as well. So we have the Empress and the Emperor. Yeah, I feel like, you know, I just feel like this is something you're gonna have to work through, and that you'll be working through. And I just don't get this as a bad thing. I really don't. But I can feel that this has been a really hard sort of, I'm hearing hard won. I feel like this has been a hard sort of lesson or experience that you've gone through, or situation or scenario. Again, I am sensing there's some sort of like internal feelings of like you're kind of on the brink of something. And it just feels like I can sense how much you want to expand into this energy. But I just feel like there's a constriction here as well. And again, Spirit is confirming with this 10 of Wands that these are coming through as like the things that you are carrying within yourself, of like, oh, I'm not able, is part of it. This may be carrying as well kind of a fear of rejection is definitely here. Okay, that feels present. I mean, this 10 of Wands is coming in layered, but it just feels like kind of all the things you're carrying into this situation is part of it, or this moment in time, or what you're experiencing. Okay, it's definitely part of it. I'm seeing this person, Spirit's showing me this person, and they're showing me the Lover's card, but they're showing me this person like trying to hand these wands to someone else, and Spirit's saying the only person who can work through this is actually you. If there are, again, doubts and insecurities and fears and whatever is coming up here, limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs, you know, negative self-talk, doubts, anxieties, like these are things that ultimately you have to work through. And again, this is why we're talking about getting yourself support in whatever ways you can find it, okay? Outside of this connection feels really, really strong, okay? Because Spirit's saying like you can't bring this to someone's door and just give it to them and be like, well, I need you to fill every single insecurity I have, because that's not how this works, and that's definitely not how healthy relationships work. But Spirit wants you to get into, like I said, wants you to see the act of self-love is when you can carry these wands all on your own. And some of you have, right? Like Spirit's not saying you're not, but Spirit wants you, I think, to see the full extent of this as this is coming up, particularly in this moment in time, as you're kind of like right in between, wanting to go deeper, go farther, go further, go wherever you're trying to go. Again, I just see the chariot riding, okay? It's just riding. And so Spirit's saying, like, you know, wants you to kind of work through, process through these things, because there's a path that is opening, is what I'm hearing. And that feels very clear from this Ace of Pentacles and the Empress. It's like, again, the path is opening towards abundance for you. And this feels like, this Empress feels like the same expansion from the Summer card, actually. The opportunity is here for you to expand. That feels clear as day here, okay? But I just feel like, again, this opportunity will continue to come up. This will never really pass you by. But I feel like right now it feels like it's another like wave coming in of an opportunity for you to expand beyond the sort of self-doubts, limitations that you've been placing on yourself up to this point. So you can cross this like desert with the chariot to get to this rainbow and castle that you're really looking for. But ultimately, again, I just feel like there's something really strong here with the Strength card of like kind of having the strength to see yourself and to see the parts that are yours and to see what you need to process and heal and what's coming up within this situation, okay? And again, Spirit's saying don't hand these wands to someone else. They're saying they're yours. Okay, so that feels really strong. And I like we got this Emperor card because, again, I feel like this is actually the act of you being in your own power. This is how I always read the Emperor card, but I feel like it cannot be stated enough. It feels like the ways that you can embody your own power and your own agency and autonomy here, okay? By realizing that any sort of anxiety, stresses, doubts you're having are ultimately coming from you. Okay, it's never about a person, place, or situation outside of us. Those are all things that are coming from our own past experiences, our childhood, inner child parts, more specifically. This may be things we inherited ancestrally, but it is ours to navigate and it is ours to heal, okay? To come into our adult connections and relationships within ourselves and then with others does mean we need to take these on as our own burden, okay? And we need to heal it. Okay, so let's keep going. What else do you have to say here, Spirit? Any advice? Anything else? You want this top card? In reverse? Okay, yeah, so here's the card they gave you. And this card? Okay, they give you this card. It says storm. It says disruption, chaos, change. Yeah, so I do feel like that. I actually don't feel like this is a bad thing. This is coming out both upright and reverse. I don't feel like this is a bad thing though. So I feel like there's a couple layers of meaning to this card as it's coming through from Spirit. I feel like Spirit is trying to confirm the chaos, disruption, kind of the situations that have been coming up that have felt kind of turbulent for you in any sort of way. Spirit is trying to confirm the source is you. The source is you, okay? And again, that's not a bad thing. That is what is within our control. We have the control here to go into deeper levels of healing, to say, oh, it turns out my anxiety made me, my anxiety was kind of in the driver's seat, and that's why I texted this thing, or that's how I interpreted this message or communication from this other person, even though they didn't mean it that way, okay? So it's up to us to identify, again, the sources of our anxieties, fears, whatever is coming up, okay? So I feel like Spirit is trying to say, like, if there was any question around what you can control here, that's what you can control. And again, this is where it comes into, this is our responsibility to do as adults, is to really like be with those child parts, to be with all of those things we've been talking about, okay? So Spirit is really saying that through this card very strongly. So if it feels like you're in the middle of a storm, it feels like it's because something is changing for you, Okay, something is changing for you, and it may be through this reading, through us. This reading feels like it's mirroring something to you right now, and just kind of like showing you kind of where you are. Okay, but there's some sort of change that may be needed, or a change you've already initiated and have been going through. So part of this reading may be confirmation of where you are in your healing journey, depending on where you are on this timeline. For some of you, this may be a realization of like, oh, I'm the one causing some of this chaos, right? And if that means, you know, I'm interpreting things this way, I have, you know, different parts of me that are kind of getting in the middle of this connection with myself and others, or it can also be things where we say, cool, well, that means maybe once I've healed this, maybe this connection no longer applies, and that's completely okay too. Yeah, good. I'm getting a phone call right now. I like it. It says connecting on it. I feel like, yeah, it's just trying to show you I didn't need to get that call. It's not important, but it was like probably some spam call. Okay, but what's important is the connection bit. Is I feel like this is trying to show you kind of the nature of your connections and what's coming up. Okay, this feels like a really good thing. This is definitely giving like Scorpio energy. Okay, it's almost like a little bit of the Tower card energy where it's trying to bring things to the surface for you to see. Okay, so that feels really strong here. Is definitely one clip of this message. I do feel like Spirit is also trying to say in reverse that if you decide to actually like open your eyes, see this person's eyes are closed, and kind of look at these things that you're carrying, then you'll come into a more peaceful, I'm hearing a peaceful resolution, but more into a more peaceful kind of like zone, as it were. Okay, because that's what happens when we start to like work with that. When we say, okay, well, you know, I'm going to heal this stuff, then you can determine if you want to continue to connect within this connection, if it makes sense to walk away, set boundaries, or if you know, just seeing maybe ways that you are getting in your own way, okay, is something as well. Okay, so that's part of the message. We also have, yeah, look at this. We have this card. I didn't even know this card was the other card. I had it face down. It says rebirth. It says metamorphosis. It says new beginnings. Yeah, exactly. All the things we've been talking about, right? So first of all, I'm really struck by that fact, by how like this is also a card that is very Scorpio. Like I almost feel like this looks like Mars a little bit, but it says rebirth, right? It says metamorphosis. Like these are all things related to the Scorpio archetype. So that's definitely confirming we're in this. This is what is possible for you. This is also confirming when I was talking about you're in the middle of a change. Again, it's coming through as a metamorphosis on this card, but it does feel like this is going to be a big shift and a big change. And again, as you come into this expansion, expanding within yourself, within your connections, that may mean certain connections you decide can stay, maybe some that go. I don't think there's a wrong answer here, but Spirit just wants you to see about yourself and to come back into your own seat of power here. Okay, so that feels really strong. We were also talking about with this World card, we were talking about sort of like bringing, there's an ending wanting to happen on kind of like doubting yourself is part of it. Okay, and doubting that you have what it takes to make it through this. You absolutely do. The new beginning is here. The new beginning is always here at the same time as the ending. Those things have to coexist, okay? So they just have to, just like light and dark, just like north and south, like it has to exist at the same time, okay? So Spirit is also saying with this World card is also, it's heralding with that rebirth, it's heralding in a new beginning. So that also feels very present. I just feel like this is the new beginning. I feel like, again, it's the new territory. It's the new kind of path you're walking. I feel like you have the ability to make it through this. That feels very clear. Spirit just wanted to send through a reminder to continue to like look at your own part in this situation, and to get into the necessary like environment for healing with it, because Spirit wants to see you thrive. Empress card wants you to see you thrive, but Spirit is saying it's going to take a level of strength to get to where you want to go, which is again towards this Empress card, towards this summer, towards that basil, all of these things that are you know indicative of prosperity and luck and abundance and love and just feeling really good. Okay, to really get there, it does require that, you know, we kind of like look in the mirror. We have to look in the mirror with some of this stuff, okay? And so Spirit is just really coming through very strongly with that message through this reading, that, you know, you have what it takes. You absolutely have what it takes. And again, there's an opportunity that feels like it's here for you now if you decide to take it. And it does feel like on the other side of this is the Empress and the Emperor. But to get into this energy, it does mean, again, looking at those parts of yourself and meeting them with love and the self-love that's required. All right, so that is, I think, everything I have for you. Do we have any more cards? All right, so we are going to go ahead. I don't think we're going to an extended, no. So we're gonna go ahead and close out this reading with an oracle card. I like to open and close my readings with an oracle card. So we're gonna do that now. All right, so let's go ahead and read an oracle card. So funny. Here's the card. It's exactly what we've been talking about. This feels really clear from Spirit. This feels really clear. It literally says release the petals, transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, all change. Yeah, I was saying that Scorpio energy is really strong here. So yeah, that feels correct. This feels like the right card for you. So let's go ahead and read this. Release the petals. 104. And that may mean, I keep hearing this from Spirit, that may mean releasing a connection, okay? But it's important that you are like loving yourself, and sometimes self-love means walking away. A lot of times self-love means walking away from things that aren't serving you, okay? If they really truly aren't aligned with you, okay? And aligned with the things that you require and that you need, okay? But Spirit just wants, there's a call for a self-reflection here on any level, whether that's to stay and expand within a connection or to leave one. It doesn't really matter what the outcome is here. What Spirit is trying to focus is the self-love bit, and that whatever decision you make, whatever path you go, it is coming from that foundation. Again, King and Queen of Pentacles, that's the foundation, that's the ground you should be walking on. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this. There comes a point where we can't go back. In a seemingly fleeting moment, the road that led us here is suddenly impossible to access. There's a sinking knowing that things will never be the same. A death, a birth, a loss, a growth, an ending, a discovery. No matter how hard you try, things are different now. You are different now. The world is different now. What's been seen can't be unseen. There's no going back. Something new beckons you forth. This is a card of change and transformation. Courage is required for the rebirth to happen. Abscission is the shedding of various parts of an organism, such as a plant dropping a leaf, flower, fruit, or seed. The rose hip knows too. The phoenix does as well. They know that we need to surrender what was to the earth to one day be transformed anew. We can grasp the petals of the past as the changing winds blow. But eventually, we'll discover that change is coming, change is near, and actually change is already here. And while what once was is no longer, and what soon will be is not yet, it's time to release your petals to the wind with wild abandon for the chance to begin again, to offer what once was to the wind and let it nourish the seeds within. It's time to surrender so the transformation can happen. Had the rose not released its petals, the rose hip would not have come to be. When we gather the courage to release what was, we're greeted by the fruits of the future. And the soul inquiry is, what are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? All right. Well, that is the message I have for you today. I really hope this has helped you. If you feel like this message resonated with you, if you could kindly give it a thumbs up, that lets me know if this found you at a good time. If you feel like this channel, tarot channel, is resonant for you, feel free to subscribe. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, feel free to check out that information in the description box below. But I hope this has been helpful for you. It feels like this was a message that really needs to get out today, so I hope it's finding you in the right time. All right, well, thanks so much for being here. I'll see you at our next reading. Okay, bye for now.